and welcome back to Otaku no Video. As always, thank you very much for joining me. Where today I'm going to be reviewing Gundam SEED Stargazer, and oh boy do I have some strong opinions here. This is the 3-episode OVA that was released after Gundam SEED Destiny. It is set during and after the Break the World event from Gundam SEED Destiny. The regular cast does not appear. And let's start off with the music. It is still Toshihiko Sahashi, same composer. It's still this big, beautiful, epic music. And considering the events, no spoilers, considering the fact that this is an OVA with a lot of big, exciting, action-y things happening, perfect music for that. And it has this really beautiful ending theme. And I know beautiful is kind of a subjective term, but it has this nice lilting ending theme, which, I don't know, I just liked a lot. The animation, certainly thoroughly effective for an OVA. They obviously had a bigger budget, more frames of animation. Also, the directorial style is a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more experimental in terms of camera angles and things like that compared to the TV series. So that's welcome. The first episode is particularly well shot because it is basically a disaster movie set during the Break the World event. So characters are trying to get basically from point A to point B, and stuff happens. And that actually kind of left me kind of breathless. I was very impressed, interested in the characters, and then it all fell apart because episode 2 has nothing to do with episode 1. I'm not kidding. Completely different characters, and it introduces another facility. Again, try not to get into any spoilers here. Introduces another facility where children are being brainwashed into pilots, super soldier pilots. Not buying it. I'm sorry. This plot device has shown up so many times throughout all of Gundam, much less the SEED universe. So again, another one? Really? No. So that was really frustrating. And the problem was, because it's only a 3-episode OVA, I didn't have time to really get into the characters. And because it's a big action story, I didn't really care about the characters. More brainwashed teenagers. Blah. And then the 3rd episode includes some of the characters from the 2nd episode and some of the characters from the 1st, with a completely different storyline than number 1 and 2, but kind of working into those things. And I was just, I threw my hands up, to be honest. It's a mess. It jumps all around. And worse, the ending just kind of drifts off. You're not quite sure if folks are going to achieve what they're trying to achieve. You're not quite sure where the characters are in terms of their emotional turmoil and things. Some things are somewhat tied off, but it's this very ambiguous ending, which for a big jumble of action, that's a bad thing to do. And heck, you make it a lot cleaner than that. It's an action, 3-episode action. So yes, I found Stargazer to be a complete story mess. I will say, though, that it is very action-y. If you want style over substance, you'll get it in Stargazer. It is definitely exciting, lots of explosion, lots of mecha action, and some slick mecha designs as well. I'll give it that. I love the Stargazer design. But it's very confusing. Or it's not just confusing, it's just very abrupt. It kind of throws stuff at you, and it expects you to just sort of consume that and understand it, and then it's going to throw more stuff at you. And it's just kind of, it's not well woven together. It feels like if you needed to go through, say, 5 revisions of a script to really tie up everything, this feels like revision 2. We have some neat ideas. You get from point A to point B to point C, and you get everywhere, but it's very rough, and it's very abrupt, and it's just So those are my thoughts on Stargazer. Again, I can't say too much more without getting into any spoilers. But yeah, not my favorite Gundam thing, definitely. So those are my thoughts on that. If you want to check it out, stop by streamsuki.com, see if it's streaming somewhere. Sunrise is starting to stream a fair amount of their stuff, so it might be out streaming somewhere right at this minute. And if you want to talk about interesting anime and manga, not like Stargazer, although you could dive into Stargazer a little bit. Anyway, stop by our website, otakunovideo.net, where we are talking about all sorts of interesting anime and manga. So I hope you will do that, and until next time, basically, thanks for watching. With a sword?